This is an easy task to do. IEBC has made it complicated, they're very opaque, and therefore it leads to tensions and worries that we don't need.
Kura Yangu Sauti Yangu coalition is accusing the IEBC of failing to do its job thoroughly.
When we hear conflicting statements coming from the chair and from the CEO, this has an extremely damaging impact on public confidence, and it's extremely dangerous.
Coalition board member Maina Kiai is accusing IEBC CEO Ezra Chiloba of lying to Kenyans. He is calling upon IEBC chairman Wafula Chebukati to call the House to order.
Mr. Chiloba has shown a deficit of truthfulness and a deficit of trust. And I think it's time Mr. Chebukati decides that he is indeed in charge of this election and not Mr. Chiloba.
Kura Yangu Sauti Yangu is claiming that there are discrepancies in data made public by the electoral body. Mr. Maina said in some cases the information provided through the IEBC portal and what is in the Form 34A is not the same.
We have actually been continuing looking at Form 34 and comparing that with the numbers that are being put out there by IEBC. We have a lot more discrepancies, and a lot of it is around rejected votes. In Our Lady of Peace in Nandi Hills, the Form 34A says there are 9 rejected votes. IEBC portal says there are 439 rejected votes. In St. Matthew's Hall in Langata, Form 34 shows a kura with no votes. IEBC says he has 3 votes. It shows Dida with 3 votes. IEBC portal says 0 votes. The Form 34 shows Kenyatta with 214. IEBC shows him with 210. It shows Odinga with 252. IEBC shows him 256. So there's a lot of discordance, and the whole point of this is to show that there is something weird about this system.
Mr. Maina is blaming IEBC of making results that are not verified public. By doing this, they say the body is breaking the law.
It began throwing results without anybody knowing the source of those results. Instead of starting off insisting that Form 34A must be uploaded, when it gets to the constituency, Form 34B is then uploaded, and then results can begin streaming. Instead, they began streaming results, as we said in our press statement. IEBC began streaming results well before polling station results had been declared in many parts of the country. In most parts of the country, we have had more than 1,000 agents and observers across the country. And the earliest result that was called was after 9 p.m. Yet IEBC was streaming results, numbers. In fact, I think we should be fair. We should not stop calling them results. IEBC is streaming numbers, whose source nobody is quite sure of. That's the danger, because now we're wondering whether the challenge that IEBC has got is getting those numbers and then working backwards. So things are back to front, which always leads to tension, leads to crisis, and leads to problems when we don't need them in this country. So that's why it is much easier to do an election right than to start playing games with opaqueness, to start making things complex when they're actually quite simple.
Alice Okonji, KTS, Nairobi.